we know that gas prices are high, and this may be causing some of your employees kind of a shock. In fact, we even had one of our employers that said that their best employee was thinking about quitting and finding another job just because the prices that they thought they were going to have to pay for gas are now double what they were, and it wasn't cost effective to work there for them anymore. So we've had a lot of our clients ask, should I provide a gas bonus to our employees? So I thought I'd explore that a little bit with you and talk about some of the ramifications of that. So number one, do you give a gas bonus to all your employees? So the answer, I think, should be yes. You have some employees that may work 1 hour from the office, and you have some people that may work 1 minute from the office. So maybe a gas bonus would be per mileage on a round trip basis, that you would provide them an amount for where they lived. So obviously the person that lives 1 hour away would get more than the person that lived just a minute away. So, but I wouldn't say that you had to be 10 miles away from the office to get a bonus, because that does discriminate against people that might be 9.5 miles away from the office. So one, give a bonus to everybody. Number two, how much should you give as a bonus? Well, that kind of all depends on how much you want to subsidize. You could say what the average of gas was in, say, December of this year, or even in July of 2021, and then bonus on the extra. So you could do it so that if the gas price was now $2 a gallon more, then you would bonus, maybe you would give them half of that. And so you would bear $1 of that burden, and they would bear $1 of that burden. And so you would multiply that by the number of miles that they worked and the number of days in a pay period, and you can pay them by pay period. One thing I would not do is I would not call this a long-term plan, right? I would not put this in your employee handbook. I would not write it as a new policy, because we don't know what's going to happen, right? We don't want to create this benefit for the next 20 years. We just want to say, for this quarter, this is what we're going to do. And that doesn't mean that we can't do it next quarter as well, but we do want to possibly give them some short-term help in this. And then the last thing I want you to know, and something that you need to know with your accountant, is that this is taxable income for your employees, because commuting income, commuting costs are taxable. They are not non-taxable items. Like, for instance, if you pay mileage for your person to go from your place of business to see their client, that is a non-taxable repayment of gas. However, if it's a commuting expense, meaning from their home to your house, that is taxable, and so they will have to pay taxes on that, just so that they know, and just so you do it right, so you're not found out by the IRS to do something incorrect. So again, I'm a big fan. This is a great way to retain people, and it may be a short-term cost, but it actually looks like you have a lot of empathy for the employees, because you're actually helping them with something that is a burden for them right now. You're not creating a long-term implication for a policy, meaning that you're not increasing their salary, which will then make sure you have their salary increase for the next 10 years, but you're just doing something for the short term. So do it for everybody. If you're going to do it, make sure that you are very clear in how much you're going to pay per mile or per day, based on where they live. And the people that live the farthest should get more than the people that don't live far. And then make sure that you do tax that correctly, and your accountants know to make that as taxable wage. So that's just a thought on how to retain people. Again, we're having to be very creative right now, because just in case you don't know, we are still in a candidate market, meaning that the Great Resignation, it's a real thing, and we're seeing so many people leave companies that we want to make sure that you are retention proof in your company. We also do a full retention study for companies where we look at 17 different points, and we determine where you have some weakness and some liability in retaining people. And so we help you to retain your people more. So if you want us to help you with that, we're glad to come in and do some consulting for you and tell you what you can do to make sure you're retention proof. Thanks, and have a great day.